Dinesh, it's not a surprise what Donald Trump is doing, but I think many people are surprised by the level of violence and vitriol about what he's doing.
Yeah, I think on the campuses, there's a sense that, you know, they used to talk about these safe spaces where you needed a place to be away so that you could be protected from conservatism. It looks like they want the whole campus to be a safe space. Drive out all dissent. And this is a terrible thing.
But that's outsiders are coming in here in full uniform with ski masks on. They're like hit teams.
When you see these masked stormtroopers, really, you're beginning to see this kind of almost terrorist element on campus. It's very scary. Look, you know, a lot of young people today, it's not that they reject conservatism, they're not even exposed to it. So the campuses are driving out not only an alternative point of view, but the mainstream point of view that is driving public policy.
Dinesh, what happens next? Because now we're starting to hear from some Hollywood celebrities who are saying, let's give him a chance, which is always, you know, a nice thing to hear coming out of Hollywood. What happens next, though? Does it get better or does it get worse?
Well, you know, here we are for the Super Bowl. I mean, part of America is playing by the rules of the game. And Trump won by the rules of the game. And so, you know, the Democrats have to learn to play. This whole idea that they can obstruct, that they can sort of stop the game, or they can claim that they won by some alternative set of rules, that's absurd. That's not living in reality.
Donald Trump himself has already sent out 3 tweets today, this morning. Here's one right here. Regarding the travel temporary restrictions, when a country is no longer able to say who can and cannot come in and out, especially for reasons of safety and security, big trouble. Then he also tweeted, interesting that certain Middle Eastern countries agree with the ban. They know if certain people are allowed in, it's death and destruction. And then finally, the opinion of this so-called judge, which essentially takes law enforcement away from our country, is ridiculous and will be overturned. And probably what he's talking about there is just the fact that if you are not an American citizen, you do not have rights to come into this country.
Look, the simple idea that we are a country in which citizens have civil rights. Now, people who are citizens, it's a social compact. Right. And the rights of our Constitution pertain to American citizens. They don't apply to aliens. Just like any club, you get to set the rules that decide who gets to be a member.
So what's your message for the judge?
I mean, my message for the judge is that you know, follow the Constitution. The judge is supposed to enforce and implement the Constitution, not make up rules as they go along.
Yeah, a couple of things. You've done so much work on this. You did documentaries on this, the history of the country, how we got to where we are today and why we're exceptional. When people say we're a nation of refugees, how that's not American to say no. We're a nation of refugees who come in the right way. And I'm going to pick up those papers later. Who come in the right way, not who just storm the gates.
Yeah, the humanitarian sense of allowing in refugees must take a subordinate position to the basic security of Americans. I mean, if you think about why we have a government in the first place, its main job is to protect us from foreign and domestic thugs. And so that should always take priority.
Absolutely. In the meantime, with Democrats in the Senate and the House and the mainstream media, it's a complete freak out on what's going on with President Donald Trump.
The thing that scares them about Trump is that he's fighting not only a political battle, he fights a culture battle. He takes on Meryl Streep. He takes on Robert De Niro. So the leftists,
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, the leftists have this monopoly of Hollywood, academia, and the media, and they're opening up all 3 guns against Trump.
Right, he's taking up all the scabs, and they're all bleeding.
All right, Dinesh D'Souza, thanks so much for joining us.
All right, use Bassett Tracing.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
That's the way I do it.